Fry,
And I am your co-host Hasnan Zaidi.
and to you a special show tonight where we are going to be going over all the different apps that you can use to watch anime on and what you need to go and where you need to go to do it to get signed up. So we're going to start with Crunchyroll, and that's the my main app I use. It's a premium app. It does cost money. And let me take you. Actually, let me go to a new thing, and all you gotta do is type in Crunchyroll. If I can spell, I couldn't see my keyboard. Um, Pricing, and I wanted to show you this real quick. They have three different plans that Crunchyroll has, and let's see here. No, that's a different one. I wanted to go on straight to Crunchyroll, but they have a what's called the fan, and that's $7.99. They have the Mega Fan, which is the one I get, which is $11.99 a month, and then they have the Ultimate Fan, um, which is you're allowed up to 6 devices, all that stuff. So let's see if I can bring up. I wish you would just go to the site instead of. I don't want to see all that junk. Nah.
Yeah, but the difference of being in the other region of the world, like the thing you pay for $12, I get it at $1.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it won't. I hate Microsoft Bing. I wanted to find. Normally, you would think, sorry, I should have had this prepared up front. I kind of did, but then we changed the format at the last minute on how we were going to present stuff. So I wanted to. I wanted to go to it, and it's not going to let me. And that's
Yeah,
just
because
irritating. Well, no, it just takes it back to the first one. So and you can, because I have a premium plan, I can't show all the different prices on there, and because we're not on the other set, I can't show all the pictures that I had lined up to show that has all the pricing. So sorry guys, I didn't mean to let you down. But with Crunchyroll, okay, when this is your main homepage on there, and you go up here when you're signed in. I'm a premium member, and when you go to your settings, you got here. This is your main. Let me go down to no, duh, it's on membership. See, I'm a Mega Fan member, and it's $11.99 monthly. I wanted to show what you get on all this, but with Crunchyroll, you get a lot of things you can set up. It keeps your order history. It comes. You can do it through a debit, credit, however you want to do it through there. You set your preferences on whether you want, if you have any restrictions or anything like that. You can set all that stuff. You can control it for family members if you got young ones that are watching. Um, you have a lot of stuff with this. So you got your email notifications. You can send, where you want your notifications. I just have it sent to your thing. You got your device management of all the different devices that it's on. So once you got control of the account, you really can see everything and you can set everything, and it's all off this one setting. You can go there, and that's your connected. And I have Discord hooked up to mine, could show my email. I don't care because that's also the one. The email I use for that, you can change the link. They got custom. Crunchyroll is really good about having all the different things. They even have a jobs thing on here, and I wanted to show anyone this. If you needed a job, they'll hire you. They got open positions in well, more than three different countries. Japan, over in the European Union, the U.S., down in Australia, anywhere you want a job. And well, Sony owns Crunchyroll, so you'll be working with Sony if that ever. But they have so many different things that you can do. They've got and this is why I wanted to show the different things, because when you, and sorry guys, but I'm not showing you my payment history or any of that. That's definitely not. Um, they make it really. This is the premium where how you can watch anime in the world. We still
There
got a
are
bunch of.
also games there, right? You
Oh,
can play the games.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got a whole separate thing. Like when you click on games, they've got, and you can try all these games for free, and you can, just like the anime, you can just go down and pick out what you want. Tells you what it'll work on. Um, a lot of these games are, well, hey, they're games, and I'm not a gamer, so I don't play a lot of games, so I couldn't tell you. The only one I've played is Spirit of Chronicles, or Chronicle Spirits. I like I like that one, but it's a money grabbing game, so it's is that well, that's Eminence of Shadow. I've heard a lot of people say good things about that one. And then Sword Art Online has a lot of their games. But remember, even though they're good anime, they're out there to make money. Don't get us wrong. There is a lot that um, you're going to have to pay extra for in-game and stuff like that. And maybe at some point we will get a gamer to work with us in what we're doing on anime, and we'll have a special show that just talks about games. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I'm not a game expert, so I am not the one to have do that. With Crunchyroll, when you bring up the anime, the first one is popular. That's the all list, and the nice thing about this, and it makes our job a little bit easier, is they are in order for how many people log on and watch the anime in order, all the way down, and they just keep going and going, and there is a lot of animes on Crunchyroll. They say subbed and dubbed. Now, that used to just mean, was it subtitled or was it dubbed, means was it in English. Ever since Sony bought Crunchyroll, you now have many, many different languages on. When you click on one, you can, of what language you can put the anime in. Now, if you noticed on each one of these, you'll see a little tag that looks just like that, okay? And that means it's in your watch list. That means that I've seen it. That's how you make my watch list. My watch list is not what I want to see or what I like. It is what I have seen 100%. I don't check that till I've watched the last episode. So I've got some that I'm working my way through on them, but that way you don't forget what you watch, and it reminds you. However you want to use it. There's two different lists that you can have on there. You can have it as you can have the built-in list, the Crunchy list, plus you also have your any individual listing system that you could build. So like when you bring up to a new one, now the new one you can set newest. You can set by popularity, newest, or alphabetical. I like my newly added anime to be on newest ones at the top, so we can see, what's coming out, what's continuing, what continues on with it. And then you can set a filter on that to whether you just want dubbed or subtitled. And if I just click on all, but you can separate series from movies. So if you don't like movies, just click on the series. Me, I don't care, as long as it's anime, I'm good to go. So that I'm real easy to get along with that. And then plus you can search each section however you want. Now the neat part, when you click on alphabetical, it changes formats. So you can go pick the first number or letter of the anime that you're looking for. You can click any one individually. Me, I switch and keep it, like numbers, starting with numbers or A to Z or Z to A, and you can also change everything under that form, but I like this one set this way. Every anime that starts with the number is first, and then so forth and so on, and this makes it a fast way, but I've caught myself, I don't get down to the Z's very often if I start my search column at A, right? You just don't get that far going down onto that. Now, let's get to the next one on this. So, you got your simulcast season. If you bring that up, that's everything that's just in simulcast. But what I wanted to show you is the release calendar gives you an easy to follow calendar. So if you want to see this, all that's released on today, that's coming out Tuesday, and normally they've got about 4 or 5 days in advance, but they're they don't have it all loaded up on this yet. So I don't want to speculate on that right now, but normally there would be a lot more on here. And they do have some free new episodes. I've always paid for it, so I don't know how to get the free stuff on Crunchyroll because it kind of just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
I have, I would not recommend it because I think on the first day I was without when I didn't buy my subscription, they play 5 ad at a time and you cannot skip either one of them.
Oh, that would drive me. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you have to. Nope, ain't doing it. Now the store, their store is so convenient. It's just like Amazon, and you can just pick on a particular anime that you want to check out, that you want to buy stuff for, or you can just scroll down and check out. They got all different things. I I'm guilty. I used to be the ultimate member, so I got a swag bag every year, and it gives you like a hat and a drink mug and a figurine and a T-shirt and some stickers. And I used to get them every year, and then I kind of dropped to the Mega Fan because I was sitting there going, "No, wait a minute, I'm paying a premium price and I don't use all the other features, so the only thing I gained from doing that was the swag bag." Well, let's face it, I got Asuna here. I don't need anybody else, okay? I got Asuna, my figurine, and I got Asuna, the cat. Between the two, that's enough women in my life. I'm good to go. So I just don't need it anymore. I don't use it. So I went down to the Mega Fan. Why spend money when you don't need to, right? And then you can easily go back to that, and they got a tremendous news thing. It's a never-ending website on the news end. We sift through it for all you and bring you the most important news. But I'll bring it up, but it's just one article after another, and they have got a news crew there that is like, I'm talking New York Times newspaper quality. Really good ads. Bring you a lot of, oh yeah, and that's, we got another Sword Art Online is bringing out yet another movie. So it's wow, and they're coming out with the new series, which we're going to be. We were supposed to shoot our fall lineup Saturday, and because we lost power, we couldn't do three shows. So we couldn't do our daily show that we do for you guys. We couldn't do this app use, how to use the apps program, and we didn't get a chance to shoot our fall lineup. So our fall lineup will actually be a little late this year, which we apologize for that. But all right, let's get back now. Let's get out of Crunchyroll for a while and let's get into high dive. Now,
Or for people that are in Pakistan, I'm not sure about the other region. We need to have a VPN to use high dive. It's not available in this region.
because they don't accept plus size elves over in Pakistan, so you have to use a VPN to do there. And I didn't have time with the rush of getting everything done. I didn't have time to bring up, and there are so many VPNs out there. It's so easy to use, and if you're doing it off a phone or tablet, it's free. But I don't recommend it. I would always think that when you pay for something, it's better. But you're telling me you found out that's not always necessarily true.
Yeah, I have like both of the option. Like I will say, like if you want to have a good VPN, I would say buy the Surfshark. It's the best VPN to use. But if you don't want to buy, you have two options. You can use the Super VPN for the mobile phone. It is completely free. Or if you are using computer, you can use the Urban VPN extension that can be added on a Google Chrome. Because the
Oh, I
issue
have.
with the
Yeah, I use that one too. The
yeah,
extension
but
one.
the issue with the free VPN is like it will slow down your internet way too much that it will. So if you want to use it still, I would suggest that you add extension on the Chrome. That's way other things you can watch normally, but that tab will be like really slow. But if you have like Surfshark and you paid for it, it's really good VPN.
Now that's what you have, right? You pay for yours, right?
Yes, we
Okay.
paid.
Now, fortunately, I don't need to use one. But yeah, now we do have our expert in house who knows how to use any and all types of VPNs. So don't hesitate on the questions just because I'm not going over it. You feel free to ask any question you got. You can even ask about a particular VPN. Hassan will take a look for you. But he's got his recommendations and he'll tell you that he'll write the names of them down for you and make it really easy for you to and answer any question you got on VPNs. They're good, but just remember anytime you add a server or you're adding more computers in between the video source and the video viewer, it will interfere with quality and quantity. And when I say quantity, I mean you need 60 frames per second to watch a video. When you're using a VPN, you're automatically down to 50 frames per second or lower just from using the VPN. And then if it's a bad VPN, you could be down to 20 frames per second, which that's when it starts skipping and catching and you get donutitis when you're not set up all properly and you get the little donut that just goes on and on and on and on and you'll get hypnotized from that damn thing. So don't get stuck on any one. Ask us. We'll help you get through it. You don't have to tell us where you live, but ballpark your geographical area so because that's pretty much how they go by is their areas. In the U.S., there's about 20 different server stations across the US where you can use really good high quality VPNs. But the rest of the world, we have to look them up as we run across them. So, all right, over to High Dive. Now, High Dive is kind of different. You have High Dive is $5.99 a month. Um,
And it's same here in Pakistan. Like if you want to get this subscription, it is not like Crunchyroll.
right. Now you can buy only pay $59.99 and get it for the year and not have to worry about doing this. Now, you also have your. Did you get yours all activated? See, I got him a subscription to High Dive because I put it on mine. I'm allowed up to four or five people. I'm allowed on there, and I got my best friend on there, so that way it. I like to have everybody separate. You know what it is. You pass out your name and your password, and well, that don't work with these because when if we're watching the same anime and say he watches it before me and he'll watch 1, 2 to 3 and then he's got to go to work or something and then I come on and 1, 2 or 3's already watched, so now it's trying to start at 4. Well, what if I want to start at 1 and then I go back to 1 and start watching, I don't like it in the first one, then he gets back home and he turns it on, he's back at 1 where I cut it off at. So that's why you always try to get, with this, it's one log on, but then you can go and pick who you who um, sign in under your own name, and it makes everything a lot easier. And High Dive's a lot simpler app system. And by the way, it's highdive.com. I guess I should have said that with Crunchyroll. It's crunchyroll.com. Because the next one, we are leaving the U.S. We will not be. They're not all .coms. And this one's really good. I'm not going through it because it's my personal information, but it's all very simplistic. You can set your preferences. You either can click this or that. It's a basic setting. Do you want a pin on yours or not? No, I don't run the pins on all my anime because if someone gets in there and they start watching an anime, I'm going to know it the second I log in because I know where everything was, what episode I watched the last. And High Dive is an active, what they call active SSL account. Everything moves and flows. It gets annoying, actually. At least to me, it does, because I'm trying to hit the stupid, to go to the next section, and if it pop, you're trying, and it'll drive you nuts. But they just updated this, and their old system was much better. I like the old system better, but with this one, you have to go sideways, and it doesn't give you the other pages like I used to like. Like with that, you got trending now, you got simulcast, you got dubs, you got Damachi collection, which anybody who knows, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? There is a lot of those. This isn't even all of them, and there's I think 8 seasons if you count the movies and extras, because there's 4 regular seasons. They're up to 4. And number 5 just got announced, so they will be adding probably one season adds 2, because usually with them they do the whole season, then they do an OVA or they do a 2-3 episode extra at the end. It makes it really cool. One of my favorites is this one. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? And is it wrong to expect a hot spring in a dungeon? And that's a really good one. It's one episode, but they still list that as a season. Just like, if you're watching SAO, there's 4 actual seasons, and each one of their season is 25 episodes. And then you have the you got 3 movies. Uh, I got them all. They're right on the tip of my tongue. But there's 3 of them. I just watched. I started back at the beginning and went from episode 1 all the way through all the movies. It took me like a week to do it because that's a lot of episodes. And I had to stay up all night twice to catch it. But all right, back to High Dive. You also, that's what you're looking at once you get in. They also have a browse section where you can, kind of take a shortcut and just pick an individual section of you just want to watch a dub, so everything will automatically be dubbed in. Now that used to mean English. I have not gone back and checked to see if they've changed the way that means the same thing that Crunchyroll does, because Crunchyroll dub does not mean English anymore. It means it's dubbed to another language that's not Japanese, and I really think they need to name that something else because everybody is accustomed to dub meaning it's in English. And then High Dive has their schedule, of course, of what's coming out on what day. They have a lot less, so it's easier to follow along. It's a smaller app, but way worth the money because they still have everything on there. They've got a good shop. They got good stuff if you're into shopping. All your preferences, your terms of agreement. They even have a do not sell my information checkbox, all that type of stuff. I'm a fan of High Dive. I like how they do. I like a lot of the animes that are on there. You have some of the world class animes on there. No Game, No Life, Gate, The Eminence of Shadow, which became extremely popular. There's just a lot of really, really good, well-known animes that have come. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? There's just a lot of really, really good animes that come on there, so it's worth the price they charge. Do you haven't gone on High Dive a whole lot yet, have you?
No, I think I watched the animes that we did for the High Dive week, and I like those, and I'm just waiting for the next High Dive week.
Yeah, our next High Dive week starts October 14th. We'll have it bring you another 5 wonderful animes from High Dive, and they're, like he said, they are all. I got so many favorites on there that we'd be able to. We'll have 4 High Dive weeks before we got to start getting into where they're not super high quality animes. Um, I I think the anime. I'm not sure how they. I need to check into more into how these companies get these animes. But the problem is people aren't going to talk because that's big business and that's big money. And so it's going to be hard to figure out how High Dive can snag stuff up and keep from Crunchyroll getting it. Um, but it's I'll check what I can, and you cannot put you used to be able to put a picture or something by your name. You can't do that now. They've taken that away on High Dive, but they have added some good things, and they've added more animes without jacking up the price, so that's a good thing. All right, third app that we're going to talk about tonight, and this is all manga. This is when if you can't afford to buy the premiere and you can't, money's a little tight, can't get High Dive, but you still want to check out the animes. This system, this is what I would call a manual system for watching animes. Um, and you have this. This does both. Now this does a really good selection of anime, and this has an awesome selection of manga. And I kind of skipped that with the Crunchyroll. I didn't get into the manga. They have manga on there too. So we'll have to talk about that later. We'll slide that in somewhere. But all manga costs nothing, and he thought this was a TV. It's a computer screen, and I gotta tease him about it. And then this is your tablet, and it does set up what you're watching and how you're watching it differently. So this is purely app, and this is and by the way, all manga got two. So ALLMANGA got TO, not dot com. So then you click on the home if you're on your computer, or click on click on the green one if you're on your tablet. And they got the latest updated, and I have mine selected. Let me correct mine because it's supposed to be selected all. Oh, okay. It was selected all. I just didn't see it. I'm getting colorblind, folks, so sometimes I have trouble. But you can pick if you just want to watch Japanese, Chinese, or Korean anime, and I like all three. Chinese and Korean go heavy on AI and computer generated anime, where Japan is old school. Basically, the beginning of anime, I would accredit it to Japanese, seeing how 60% of it comes out of Japan. Um, I gotta say, they're the best at producing high quality. Some of them, you wouldn't know if you're watching an anime or TV. With the way the new movies are and everything, and they're using complete computer generated worlds and everything, people don't realize half the movies they're watching, that's all computer generated. It's the same as anime. So it's not going to be long before you'll get actors in front of green screens, and everything else will be computer generated, because you can't. People expect perfection. They expect explosions, and they expect big car chases, and you can't put out a B-roll movie and wreck 100 cars. You just can't do it. It costs too much. One accident scene could cost, upwards of $1 million or $1.5 million to do one scene, one 10-second scene in a movie. So, in like the Marvel and all these high end, that's all computer generated stuff. It's high dollar, and that high dollar stuff is slowly trickling down to anime where we are, and so the quality is getting better and better all the time. But with the anime, you go over here on your side. You can't. Well, let's start here first. You can sign in and you can register. All right, I'm signed in. That's it. It won't show your name. It won't show nothing. You get the little man in the corner, and that's it. It remembers your preferences and what you watch if you sign in. And I don't remember if I'm signed in or not. It was a new. Oh, I forgot to check out. Okay, there we go. Anyway, that brought up. Okay, so it brought me to this one. This is what I've been watching on this. So we'll bring up this one just so I can show you what it tells you when, how long ago it's been since you watched it, and then just click the blue button when you want to get there. When it comes on it, it gives you your synopsis. It gives you your where it came, the status, the originating country, when it was released, the studios, and the number of episodes, and the date things. It gives you your MAL score. See, everybody goes by MAL. And that's why we use MAL here at Anime Analyst, just because it's that system is used everywhere. It's used on all manga. It's used um on Crunchyroll. It's used everywhere. It gives you the tags that go along with it. It gives you all the songs that were in the anime. It gives you any related shows to the anime. And which SAO, Gun Gale Online is an offshoot of SAO, so that's why it's going to be there. And then the important thing, you have subbed and then you have dubbed. So you can watch, and I started to watch it again. I was trying to remember because they were all checked. I went through the whole thing, but I fell asleep somewhere. So it played out, and I was trying to remember what episode I was on. So I was watching 8, going, nah, it's later on, but yeah, I'll just watch it again. So it was super cool. Um, so this is what they have, to offer, and this is not a paid system. It is free, and it gives you recent viewers. It gives you the first viewer. It gives you the number of watches at the current moment, and it gives you the thumbs up and stuff like that. Plus, which you know about, it gives you the torrent on, it gives you the torrents of the anime too. And so, in case you want to download the torrents and have it on your computer and watch it at your own convenience, nothing is hidden from all manga. Because if you were to go watch this on Crunchyroll, you're going to pay and you're only going to get subs. You're not going to get the dubs. They don't put it out there. I don't know why, but that is the way it is sometimes. So this one has manga. I love their manga home. It works just like the anime. Um, I do read manga. I just don't talk about it on the show because anime is my biggest thing. But I like to finish the stories, and there's a lot of the anime where it cuts off at a certain point. Well, I want to know what happens next, so I go search out the manga or the story, and I finish reading it. Um, and I'll go into more of that later. But we just felt like we wanted to take the time to show you where you could go see all this stuff, what you can, and there are others. Don't get me wrong. There are other apps and there are other things that are out there. These are the big three. These are the three that, if you are a serious anime fan, you need to know about all three of these. Because sometimes, for some contractual reason, they can't put one thing on one website, like Gun Gale Online on Crunchyroll is only in sub version, but you can go to all manga and watch it in dub version. So it just depends on, and nobody pays our bills, and that's why we can talk freely about all the sites, and nobody can say nothing to us. We will bring it to you as honestly as we possibly can. And this is one of those shows where it has gone on for a while now. We're going to duck out of here and call it a day because my voice is done. And I figured you probably picked up on that my voice is done. So I didn't figure you can't take over just yet. Hopefully we will get us on here in the Florida studios sometime next year. And that would be great because then I'm not the only person sitting behind the controls. I can go sit on the other side of the computer and I'll be the lackey and you can run the shows.
Hmm. Yeah, right.
I'm only teasing and he knows that. He's definitely not a lackey. He works as hard as I do. He takes care of all our SEO, and that is a tremendous amount of work. He also does all our communication with new people, subcontractors, all that. So I only tease because we have fun, but he under no way, shape, or form does not do his fair share. It takes both of us to pull this show off. I just happen to be sitting behind the controls that run the actual show. But he does probably probably more work than I do because I get breaks. I don't have to talk to people. I am not good with people. I'm good with you folks because you're behind the camera and I see a camera lens. I don't get me wrong, I love people. I just don't get along with people. So I we keep me hidden in a studio and I talk to you behind the camera. So hopefully you got something out of tonight. Hopefully you learned anything. Don't hesitate to ask us a question. Um, and I will have my pictures organized. It seems that with my screw up on this one, I will get we'll do it again and we'll do it with a little different format. But I want to go as we build our listener base. We will go back and repeat some of the stuff, and we're not we're not going to slap up the same show we did the first time and say, "Oh, look, we talked about the apps twice." No. We will make a second show and talk about the apps and go through it from the beginning on a different show. We don't just slap up shows and say, "Oh, look, we had 4 shows about apps." No, you made one show about apps. You played it 4 times. We're not like that. We'll do 4 separate shows. So, you guys have a good night. Hopefully, we answered some questions, and don't forget to go to Anime Analyst US and ask us any questions there, or hit our Facebook page, Instagram, X, and TikTok, which we're still trying to sort out. But we'll get it sorted out. But our Instagram and X is up and running, and you can, I think, you have to go to Facebook to go to all those if you're not sure where they are. But as we go, we'll get our links sorted out. There are links in the description of every video, and I try to keep those updated to the best of my ability. But um, we do get behind sometimes. So if you can't find something, you can berate us on YouTube, and we will get that fixed for you. So, do you got anything you want to say before we go?
No, I think we covered it, and it's getting a really long show. We'll do that show again. We will bring more sites which will be free and which we'll talk about this more. We'll have it then, and we'll talk about the things that we will see if we didn't cover this time. We'll
Okay,
get it.
then we will